Absolutely. Well, speaking of all in this together, you also head of a global organisation. Can you
Yeah.
share a little bit about that and how many countries are involved?
Yes, well, Robyn, that's right. There's an organisation called the International Network for Cancer Treatment and Research.
Hmm.
The US headquarters, I serve as the president of the US branch of that. It's a global organisation. There's a global headquarters in Belgium, and it involves as many of the developing world countries as possible. It's really an open collaboration. We hope that all countries will be involved with it, 60 or so involved at the moment. And the idea behind this is that, science does not belong to one country. No one has ownership of this. This is a right that all countries have to share in this. And there are technologies and ideas that have been developed in the developed world, which we believe should be brought to the developing world.
Hmm.
In some cases, it's cancer prevention programs to stop young kids starting to smoke cigarettes.
Hmm.
Lung cancer is a major killer here in China. Lung cancer is a major killer in India, and it's a major killer of people around the globe. And
I have to acknowledge, speaking of lung cancer in China, they smoke a lot here, don't they?
well, this is an opportunity to prevent cancer,
Yeah.
and we would like to see, governments and people become more involved in that change in behaviour. So this is a type of responsibility that this international network has to educate people about the causes of cancer, to prevent cancer, because it's becoming the major killer of humans on the planet.
Mm.
It's a good opportunity to do that right now.
Just some of your credentials. You were mentioning that you were also part of our Prime Minister Kevin Rudd's 2020 forum. Can you just share a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, this this is democracy at work. I think it was very exciting to be part of that 2020 summit. And yes, I did have a call and had the opportunity to take place, participate in a plenary session on Sunday morning. And I thought that the beauty of this was there was a country that was asking its own people and listening to their view. And this is really democracy at work. And I think some of the interesting ideas that came out of this was not just how was Australia viewed from the rest of the world perspective, but how can we be viewed? What can we do between now and 2020?
Mm-hmm.
And my personal hope that I expressed at that time was that we could, as Australians, be seen as compassionate citizens, compassionate towards our own people, the Indigenous people of Australia, the disenfranchised, those people on disability, and who have very challenged daily lives because of those disabilities. So compassionate towards our own people, but compassionate towards the rest of the world, compassionate and ethical towards the rest of the world. And I'd love to see Australia lead on the international scale, to lead on the international stage as compassionate and ethical global citizens.
It would be nice to see, because we do have a fresh new government.
Yes.
And we are in some very interesting times on this planet. We've had a number of guests last year who very much bridge science excuse me, and spirituality. People like Greg Braden and Bruce Lipton.
Mm-hmm.
And of course a lot of their work shows that when we go into thinking more positively, when we surround ourselves with people that come from a more holistic overview, and when we take away the fight words and the battle, then that whole healing aspect of the body starts doing what the body can naturally do. We'll take a break and come back and find out more about what Richard does in the world. Stay with us.